249 years of history, thousands of achievements, the most detailed story of an organization, heroes to some, villains to others. But one thing is known, they are members of the most powerful army in the world, the American Army. The history of the world is full of wars. Every century has seen great battles and great battles. But at no other time in history has there been an army recognized to be so effective and powerful. The American Army, which is active not only in its own territory but also in all areas of the world, still exists as an invincible power. But what makes the American Armed Forces so powerful? Is it its historical roots? Or is it its technological equipment? Or is the reason for this power just a myth? Let's look for answers to these questions together. We are Militaria, our team that prepares World War history, military equipment, armies, and comparative analyses for you is always here. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to support our team. You can also support us by liking our videos and commenting on our content. Thank you for your support. Let's start if you are ready. One of the advantages of the United States of America since its establishment is undoubtedly the fact that the country's territory is located between two oceans. Thanks to this geostrategic advantage of the country's territory, there has been no invasion or occupation attempt here for many years. In this way, America has preserved its values and existence. But of course, in a changing world, the United States of America also needed to have an advanced army. Initially, to ensure this, unprofessional and untrained people formed the foundations of the American Army as soldiers. With the decision of the Confederation Congress, the Land Army was established for the first time. George Washington, who commanded this army, won the War of Independence. In the following years, the Navy of the American Army was established. Even in its first years, this Navy managed to win a few small-scale victories. In particular, it won its first victories by fighting against the Algerian Berber pirates of the Ottoman Empire. However, these victories would not be the first victory of the United States of America. Later, the United States Navy would continue to add to its victories in many parts of the world. The American Army undoubtedly played an important role during the Civil War. During the Civil War, the American Army, advancing through the American interior and sometimes fighting in irregular units, achieved great successes. These were all experiences. These experiences were the beginning of the process that would turn the American Army into a world power towards the end of the century. The Second World War was one of the first large-scale tests of the American Army. During the Second World War, the U.S. Army was actively involved in most of the landings in North Africa, Italy, and France. The U.S. Navy also played a major role in Japan. It became increasingly clear that American military power was now invincible. After the Second World War, the U.S. armed forces were deployed in Europe during the Cold War. Here, however, the Army did not engage in active combat. The mere presence of the American Army was enough to prevent the expansionist activities of the Soviet Union. There was no aggression, but the American Army was an effective deterrent. Undoubtedly, one of the two most important areas of American military presence was Vietnam and Iraq. Having fought for a long time in both countries, the American soldiers showed great success in Iraq. America's children fought a great war many kilometers away from their country. However, in recent years, the American Army continues to take place on the world stage thanks to its technology and deterrence rather than taking an active role. So how is the U.S. Armed Forces still so strong and deterrent? The most important thing is the large population of the United States of America. It is currently known that the population of the United States is 333 million people. On the other hand, it is estimated that there are almost 60 million men and 60 million women in the United States who are currently ready to serve in the military. The number of soldiers currently serving is about 1.5 million. Of course, military power is important, but there is something else that is at least as important as military power: the technological power of the United States of America. Currently, the United States has approximately 11 aircraft carriers, 9 helicopter carriers, 92 destroyers, 22 corvettes, 68 submarines, 10 patrol ships, and 8 anti-mine warships. This is what the latest naval data shows. But of course, naval data alone is not enough to explain the technological power of the United States of America. It should not be forgotten that the American Air Force is also at a very important point. The American Air Force is undoubtedly one of the biggest factors in making the United States a superpower. The fighter jets owned by the American Air Force are still not owned by many countries in the world. The F-35 fighter jets, which we will examine in the coming days, are one of the first products of the 5th generation fighter jet technology. In addition, according to recent reports, the U.S. Air Force currently has 2,132 combat aircraft. The number of vehicles in the Air Force reaches almost 6,000 with the addition of unmanned aerial vehicles and other aircraft. In order to ensure the continuity of such a large military power, it is necessary to have a large economy. Perhaps this great economy may even be behind this power of the United States of America. According to the latest available data, the U.S. budget for military expenditure currently exceeds $858 billion. The budget of the U.S. central government, according to the latest data, is about $1 trillion. It is inevitable that the sector to which such a large amount of money is allocated should be so powerful. The armed forces of the United States are now undoubtedly the world's superpower. To date, there is still no country that can surpass the power of the United States of America. However, everything that exists is doomed to disappear if it does not renew itself. In this respect, it is necessary to look at the future prospects of the armed forces of the United States of America. According to many sources, the United States is currently looking to further upgrade its military using artificial intelligence and autonomous technologies. It is quite possible that these efforts of the United States will increase further in the coming days. Especially the situation created by the process that started with the Russia-Ukraine war further affects the future manifestation of the United States. From this point of view, the United States of America has to continue its preparations against its global enemies. There is also China. The new wave of armament launched by the People's Republic of China is also a reality facing the United States of America. To combat this reality, the United States must be more vigilant and stronger. War can only be won by being ready and having knowledge. As Militaria team, we will analyze other military data in our next video. So which topic would you like us to analyze? Share with us in the comments. You can also help us reach more people by liking and sharing our videos.